What's going on, everybody? David Mitchell here, voice of Autism, episode 149. And yes, I'm starting to recover. I found out what I had. I had bronchitis and tonsillitis. Went to the doctor yesterday. Good news is that I got medication for it, and I should be feeling a lot better by tomorrow and Monday. I'll be honest, if I feel better tomorrow, I'll try to do umbrella fanning. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now. But for a time in a couple of years that I got sick, 2 years to be exact. Last time I got sick, back right toward the end, well, back in 2018. It's been a couple of years now. But yeah, I am still a little sick. So yeah, that team. Also, I have 3 more days until my birthday. But I'll be doing a live stream on, but it'll be during the afternoon because I got to work from 8 until 4 that day. So I won't be able to do any our video except for the live stream. And I might not have friends coming over because most of them are busy or are scared of COVID-19 or the cove, if you guys know what I mean. But they are a little concerned about that. I can understand. But I'm slowly recovering from being sick. And I'm supposed to be at work right now, but I had to call out. So I'm unable to work today. I'm not able to work yesterday. I had to call out for yesterday and today. So yeah. Good news is that I got an excuse from my doctor. So yeah. And so for people who know, I still see a pediatrician, so don't be rude comments. I still do a pediatrician, ironically. But I should be a month better tomorrow. So yeah. But I'm still a little bit because of my throat. I'll be honest. It can be pretty annoying being sick sometimes. So yeah. It's been crazy for a while now. But I should be fully recovered really soon. Now, me and my lovely fiance, she already know that I'm sick. And me and my fiance Val were talking. She told me I should not be talking for a little bit because of my throat. She got a point, but I'm not going to talk a lot. Dip probably about 20-30 minutes into the live stream, but I'm doing better now and I'm starting to get my voice back. I nearly lost my voice yesterday too. Excuse me. Also, I started running a fever yesterday. I had 99 on the thermometer. Like, I was on low grade fever, so yeah, I was starting to get sick. But fever gone down, back to normal temperature, so yeah. But I'm trying to get my voice back. Oop. Someone got my chip that bad. But I'm doing a lot better now, and I'm starting to get my voice back. But yeah, it's been a crazy week. But me and my lovely fiance Valvario are doing great. But I have the link to my fiance YouTube channel down the description down below if you guys want to go to my fiance YouTube channel. But yeah. But by tomorrow I should be good enough where I can actually go outside and do stuff. So yeah, but if I'm not, I won't be able to do Ralph-handed tomorrow. But you guys will see later on. But if I'm feeling better, I will do it. So yeah. hmm And also, what I was talking about in my video vlog from 2 days ago about the tiny house. It's what me and Val are doing. So yeah. Yes, Lexi, you can come in. My brother girlfriend. Lexi. Yes.
Hello?
Um. Yes.
I need your AA batteries.
My brother girlfriend. What? Some of my AA battery for her Jane, but I used those for my scanner for Ralph Hannon. So yeah. But that back had my camera gear in it that I use for my phone, if you guys can remember. But let me get back to what I'm talking about. Me and Val are talking about a tiny house, and I'm planning to get the property across the street. Still waiting on them to move the old trailer out. When they move the old trailer out, we might be able to start with the building or working on it. So yeah, but that's something I will keep you guys updated on when it starts happening. It starts getting better, but they've been working on it, and they are getting ready to move the house really soon over there. So once they move that house, I'll be able to get that property. But yeah, but that's what that me felt we're talking about. Now, let me get to some of the articles from this week. They gotta find. Just 1 minute, guys. Taking a minute. But yeah, it's been crazy. Here's some from a post from one of the group that I found. So it's talking there.
My ASD assessment is on Wednesday. I am very anxious about it. Is there any advice?
You can put it on the door, let's see. Yeah. Okay, the thing about ASD, autistic people are different. Some can have it, some don't. It depends. But yeah. But being autistic and being sick, so sometimes be even more exhausting. That I'll be on. I know we'll be at work right now, but with me being sick, it's not good. So it better be safe than sorry, if you guys know what I mean. Bye.
Question. Does anyone else or their kids eat their meals in stages, e.g. chips first and then beans and finally sausages? My granddad thinks I am weird that I do this.
I'll be honest, I do that sometimes, but not all the times. It's hard for me, but everybody did for me. I don't do it often, but it's just something that more autistic. More autistic do everything different from one to another. Nobody's same, so yeah. But it depends on who you are. Thing is, every autistic person is different. That I'll be honest about. Including me, including my fiance Val. But yeah. So that it was cleaning the bathroom. particularly his and my mom's bathroom. So yeah.
I feel this way a lot and I am working almost full time and still feel like I never have enough money. Also just ghosted a new job again. I hadn't even worked a full shift. I just decided it would be too much masking. Instead of shame, I feel relief, so that's at least one good thing to come from it. Edit, the job was at a school.
I'll be honest, I feel that way sometimes. Feeling that I'm not making enough money sometimes. That's sometimes how I feel. But money is good from where I work. I've been doing it for 8 months. In about a week to 2 weeks from now, it'll be 9 months. So yeah. But everybody who are autistic are different. Not another thing. So yeah. Here's another one. No, I am not a little bit on my game today because I am sick, but starting to recover. So yeah.
Hello, awesome autists. I haven't been in group lately due to some personal stuff going on. Thank you everyone for continuing to be valuable members of Anything Autism. On a side note, if you want a really quick way to be removed from the group, post about masks. It has caused and will cause nothing but arguments. This is a support group, a place for camaraderie and acceptance. Please respect this space and its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Like this post, so I know you've read it and understand.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, tribe.
I'll be honest with how some autistics feel about masks, and it's something we do a lot. Some do it more than others, some don't hardly do it. It depends. It really depends on who the person is.
Hi everyone, I'm Caitlin. I'm a 21 years old, self-diagnosed Aspie. I had my suspicions a year ago when I had a huge burnout in college, and I ended up dropping out and going into the therapy for 12 weeks. My therapist at the time was quick to throw labels such as CPTSD, dissociative identity disorder, severe depression and anxiety and adjustment issues. But nothing about ADHD or autism, though I tried to bring them up a few times. They were always set aside. So I began to dismiss those diagnoses too and began to take a spiritual approach to why I had such difficulties holding a job, socializing and feeling normal, but I allowed family members and friends to persuade me that I was just like everyone else and just needed to work harder. Soon I began to convince myself that I was just a normal person like them who was having difficulties because I experienced major trauma. Fast forward, I got off my medications and began picking myself up from my bootstraps. I met my current amazing partner in January and we now have a baby boy due in late November. I am employed in a semi-full-time job. It's not the best job, but because of COVID it's manageable for my anxiety and not too socially draining, and with my partner was able to secure an apartment and car. So you see, I was able to convince myself that there was no way I could be autistic if I was doing fine again and not too exhausted from my lifestyle. I had independence and felt like I could handle my life again. Then I made the biggest mistake of my life. I actually believed I was not autistic and stopped listening to my small inner voices that told me when I was being overwhelmed. I listened instead to everyone around me pressuring me to work full-time as a teacher and hold a part-time job. So I did what they said, ignoring myself, and tried to get another job in a school. Not even 4 days into the hiring process, I went through the most terrifying experience of feeling like there was something terribly wrong with me. I am 6 months pregnant, and for 2 whole days I was in a state of shock and what I'm sure was PTSD flashbacks. I almost didn't make it out of that dark place. It scared me and made me reevaluate everything for the sake of my family and baby. I learned a very valuable lesson those 2 days, that I cannot do what everyone else does, and that is okay. I am learning to listen to myself and getting on this journey of accepting, accommodating, and then loving my autism. Thank you for listening.
Well, most autistic have different experience, and I mean all of them, to be more exact, including me. We all experience something different.
Thankful Tuesday. Words cannot express how grateful we are for all the love and support you all have given us, especially from the autistic community. I have learned so much from you all, which made our case to the governor and the public even stronger. I will keep fighting. God is on our side. I just needed to be patient and still. Big things are getting ready to happen on Matthew's behalf. Please continue to share Matthew's story. Matthew needs immediate release and an absolute pardon. Matthew is a black, autistic 22-year-old male who was a model citizen. He beat all kinds of odds against him: black, autistic, ADHD, anxiety, a traumatic brain injury (TBI) in 2017 that left him comatose for several days, and which required rehabilitation in order for him to relearn life functions, including walking and talking. A pituitary cyst was discovered during evaluation and treatment for the TBI. The single car accident which resulted in the TBI has left him with PTSD. Despite all of these challenges, Matthew graduated with honors from high school, was employed, and was an engineering student at ODU. He participated in numerous volunteer activities. He is a gifted pianist, plays the viola beautifully, and he composes music and writes poems. Matthew was sentenced to 50 years for a non-fatal car accident. No drugs or alcohol involved. Just words. He repeated words from an angry man, which is called echolalia. Those words were used to turn a car accident into a crime. Autism and prior accident never taken into consideration. Matthew Russian's guilt was decided the moment the Virginia Beach police stepped onto the scene of the January 4, 2019 accident. None of the 17 Virginia Beach officers followed their own standard operating procedures to transport an injured and mentally confused and distressed person for evaluation. They did not exhibit any understanding of autism in their interpretations of Matthew's comments and actions. Instead, they took advantage of his vulnerability as they handcuffed him, questioned him for nearly 4 hours at the scene, lied to him about evidence, isolated him from his family, charged him with second-degree murder with a claim that the accident was an intentional attempt to kill himself by deliberately driving head-on into another car. The facts don't support this, including the totality of the victim and witness statements, Matthew's behavior and statements, and the forensic evidence. It took less than 6 hours for Matthew's freedom, his reputation, his future to be stolen by Virginia Beach law enforcement and criminal justice system. Please ask Governor Northam to refuse to allow that system to steal any more days from Matthew. Ask Governor Northam to grant Matthew an absolute pardon and do whatever it takes to free him today. Sample email ********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** I am writing to you because I feel passionately that Matthew Rushin, a gentle young man with neurological processing differences that accompany autism spectrum disorder, should not be behind bars. Please review his case. A non-fatal car accident that involved no drugs or alcohol, a young man with autism who has never before been in trouble with the law. This is someone who should not have been sentenced to 50 years and now spending a decade of his life in jail with violent offenders, all because of a driving mistake. Furthermore, it is highly likely that the accident even occurred because of his losing consciousness due to a seizure. A forensic engineer and traffic collision reconstructionist with 33 years' experience has written a report detailing the ways the Commonwealth's suicide determination as a cause for the accident is not a plausible explanation. Web links. This is also what Matthew repeatedly told officers during his interrogation, when he should have been receiving medical care. At the scene of the accident, Matthew repeated words that were screamed at him. Echolalia is a method many with autism use for processing situations. This involves them repeating what someone has said to them. Matthew did this, and he was convicted because of it rather than for the actual facts of the case that illustrated it was indeed an unintentional car accident. Please review his case. He needs medical attention for the cyst on his brain. He is experiencing headaches and transient blindness, and his medical care for this is long overdue. Please do not let him die in jail. This young man has been criminalized and had his life destroyed. He has a history of being a model citizen prior to this accident, honors in high school, an engineering college student, a volunteer. He needs medical care for the cyst on his brain and is experiencing transient blindness and short-term memory loss, further exacerbated by his recent assault in jail by another inmate. Please do what you can to help. Prison offers the VA community nothing in terms of betterment by keeping him locked up and potentially killing him because of lack of medical care and his vulnerability as a young man with disabilities in a brutal environment. Help his family bring him home. The injuries incurred to the victims involved, particularly the man with the most severe and sustaining injuries, are horrible. But the punishment is above and beyond inhumane and unproductive for Matthew Russian to be sentenced to 50 years and serving 10 for a non-fatal car accident involving no drugs or alcohol. These are critical points. 1. Matthew was not taken for medical and mental health evaluation the evening of the crash. He has lost consciousness, had a prior serious brain injury, was banged up around the face and bleeding, was not making sense, yet instead of taking him for evaluation and care, the police handcuffed and interrogated him for nearly 4 hours at the scene, then more at the police station, with lies and manipulation. He still has not had the physical evaluation he should have had that day, despite the fact that he has a cyst on his pituitary gland that was due evaluation the month he was jailed 19 months ago, and he is having severe headaches, dizziness, and temporary blindness. 2. Virginia Beach Police Department has a CIT, Crisis Intervention Team, program that is supposed to divert people with mental illness or in mental health crises to treatment rather than the criminal system. Not only did they not activate that team despite his history of PTSD, anxiety, and his symptoms at the scene, and the fact that they were going to charge him with attempted second-degree murder on the basis of a suicide attempt, unfounded. The woman did much of the interrogation, which included lies about the evidence they had, and pretending that she was his friend, is a trainer for their CIT program. Further, suicidology must be determined by psychologist or psychiatrist. It was not and wouldn't have been. They were able to maintain that charge because after 7 months of jail, when Matthew was told that if he signed the plea deal, he could go home, that was his understanding, he signed it. From that point forward, the prosecutor, judge, and press referred to the fact that he admitted he deliberately ran into the other car because he was trying to kill himself.
Okay, I'll be honest. What the cops and the judge did, that's be a crime to where they got fired and put in prison, because that right there, setting him up and lying to him, that is illegal in the court system. What happened right there was a federal crime. What the judge and cop did count as a federal crime. But what happened to him was awful and it's disgusting. What they did was wrong. Like, literally, the judge and the cops should be in jail just for lying and manipulating, because what they did technically count as federal crime.
Kill himself. Officer Hosang only has 12 hours of autism training. It takes psychologists years undergraduate education, graduate education, and a whole lot of certification to even be able to practice. Officer Hosang told Matthew is heard in the interrogation, she hopes to arrest and charge him. What CIT does that? Is that escalating the issue? No way. 3. Mental health services have not been provided. Medication for anxiety was provided after months, but not counseling, treatment. Matthew has not had the required neurology follow-up for his conditions identified prior to his incarceration. 4. Matthew and his family have not been able to talk face-to-face for 19 months, let alone hug. This 20-year-old autistic man who had just been in a very serious car accident and who was clearly physically impacted was not allowed the comfort of his family. His dad was at the scene for hours waiting to be allowed to see his son. He wasn't even told when they took Matthew away from the scene. Mr. Russian found out 45 minutes later. 5. Matthew was ripped from his life on the basis of an unsubstantiated claim, denied his rights, taken advantage of, and taken straight to prison for a charge that never should have been made. Yet when there is overwhelming evidence of all of the wrongdoing, he remains in prison. That is totally unbalanced. He was judged guilty on sight. But it is taking months to free him. This is so wrong. 1. Mark R. Herring, Attorney General. Email, service@OG. State, VA, US. Call 804-786-2071. 2. Kelly Thomason, Secretary of the Commonwealth. Email Kelly Thomason@Governor, Virginia, Gov. Call 804-786-2441. Fax 804-786-7441. 3. Brian Moran, Secretary of Public Safety and Homeland Secretary. Call office 804-786-5351. Email Brian Moran@Governor, Virginia, Gov. 4. Tanya D. Chapman, Chair of the Virginia Parole Board.
What happened? I hate to say it, but what the judge and the cop did, instead of him going to jail, it would have to be the other guys going to jail because what they did to him, it actually a federal crime, which can get all of them fired and put in prison. I know I should not be talking, but
our Abba isn't like that. If it's called Abba, then it stems from Abba. Even if they only still practice one small, unnoticeable thing that is harmful to any autistic individual, that is one thing too many. Some forms of Abba have come a long way from shock therapy, forced eye contact, and happy hands or quiet hands, but any form of Abba is still Abba. If it weren't, it wouldn't be called that. I know it is hard to see. I know it looks like your child or client is doing well in that therapy. I know you don't want to see that the one thing that is helping your child or client is not good for them. But the long-term effects are not worth it. Please listen. Autistic adults are pleading with you. We want nothing but support and love and acceptance for all autistics. Heck, before I knew I was autistic and dived into discovering every truth I could about it, I had no idea that Abba was bad. It is okay to admit you were wrong. That's how we learn and grow and love relentlessly. We were autistic children once too. We know the struggles. We still struggle. But being autistic is a beautiful and unique identity, and it makes us who we are fully and completely, just as equally as being human. And Abba goes against that in all areas. So many autistic adults were put through Abba as children and have PTSD from it. Others have been conditioned to be more neurotypical, and their autistic identity is a stranger to them. We cannot let this happen to autistics. Therapy for autistics is supposed to aid them in embracing their autistic identity. This includes teaching healthy stims and behaviors that are directly related to being autistic and not to neurotypical standards. Reach out to me, to other autistic adults, who will listen and aid you in finding the right therapy for your child or client. Therapy is not the place to take a risk in any area of an autistic's mental and developmental health. Please refer to posts I have made in the past on Abba found in my Autism highlights. Image shows me with a grimace pointing up. The words above me read, all Abba is bad. Yes, even good Abba.
That is true. But yeah, that I'll say ABA therapy or ABA is too awful. It's wrong. But yeah, I've been speaking my voice about it on how horrible it is. So yeah. Now let's get to the second to last part of the live stream.
Agus Deal Van Die, Virtual Concert Didcom Augustus 22, Saturdag, Philippine Standard TYD, Met Grudlix Talentvol and Inspiratie Mens van my stad, Philippine.
That's Tagalog or Filipino, my fiance. It's kind of amazing. See, we're part of the concert that happened in this week. Now let's get to the last part with, and our another train getting ready to go by. 2 and only 20 already. Yeah, that freight train. But yeah, my fiance is part of a concert that happened earlier today. So yeah, it went amazing. I was not able to watch it because of me being sick still and the energy, if you guys know what I mean. Copy. There we go.
My not so graduation photo. The look that I want to have for my graduation photo someday. Donating a Philo banana. Celebrating womanhood. This quarantine helped me become an advocate that I was born to be. As a proud Filipino with autism who aspires to run the world, earth, globe, Americas till my last breath is what I longed for and what I wanted to be. Speaking of running the world, I ought to be and being more inspirational, that is more realistic than a fairy tale like structure like we saw in fairy tales. However, thinking on being yourself who never stop making mistakes and learn something from it instead of being upset. Crazy, isn't it? I'm still standing, learning, and motivated here. What's the greatest lessons I've learned as a proud Filipina? Blossom treating insecurities as a source of improvement, not a source of offense. Blossom doing Filipino traits is the best tool for being a truly Filipino, along with learning the traits from other cultures. Blossom being the weirdest in a positive manner is something unique for us as a person with autism, and we'll never take it bad. Why? Because we lied, we fought, we played and prayed for the best and enjoyed our life like our own, and we are proud of what we have and who we really are. Blossom appreciating what we see is honestly one of the traits I will never forget, because it is the best gift you would ever give, okay? Not when it disappears. Blossom fighter, yes. Fight that possession not to enter on them. Blossom be a conqueror. Conquer every fear, because you will never see beautiful things if you're way too scared. However, there's a good side of being scared at first, because you want to know more about a thing, and not doing something that you don't know is harmful than good. Blossom at this time of pandemic, don't overstress yourselves. Funny how you've been crying over a spilled milk. Do something crafty and be creative with productivity too. Blossom accepting change is harder for us. Take time to that and understand the reason and situation, then learn from it. Blossom lastly, be the voice for the voiceless. That will help conquering your fear.
And I found the English version of Urgent with I found.
Prayers answered, as I am honored to be part of this virtual concert for the very first time. It was also a special day because I honor this day as I missed my home country. Joining me are my inspirational and talented friends in my home country, the Philippines. Reina del Cielo, the Grand Online Marian exhibit of Quezon Province. Premieres this Saturday, 22nd August 2020, 19:30 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, 4:30 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time. Witness the first ever exhibit of the most precious Marian images and icons in the province of Quezon, with guest artists, Frank G. Rivera, writer/director, Alejandro Concalacion, composer/pianist at Consolacioni, Bon B. Guzman, composer, Erskine Basilio, classical guitar, Ariel Huey, Mel Mario, soprano, yours truly, Armand Ferrer, tenor at Armanfer, Desmond Salvo, soprano at Yasmin Salvo, the Kalalayan folkloric group of Caganayan, Quezon, Oroqueta Chamber Singers of Quezon, Province, hosted by Do Anthony Lingayo Bosco. Join us as we showcase our rich religious tradition in the province, while continuously praying for the intercession of the Blessed Mother to protect us against the pandemic. Maria, Mapagpalangang Reina, Tagapag Sanpalang Laban sa Pandemia. Like their page on Facebook at Camaros de Quezon. This online exhibit is live streamed on their Facebook page. Grinning face with smiling eyes.
That was part of my fiance. What amazing. It was early in the morning here and there, but with me being sick, I was not able to watch it because I was very exhausted. But it was amazing watching the after video of it, which I admit was amazing. But yeah. And my fiance is an amazing person. I'll be honest about that. But yeah. And she'll be coming back down to South Carolina toward the end of next month, which I'm looking forward to. So yeah. Also, don't forget that I'll be doing a live stream in 2 days from now on my birthday. On Tuesday, so yeah. But that'll be after 6 or 7 because I'll be working from 8 until 4 that day. So yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I hope everybody is having a great weekend, and I hope everybody being safe. I really do mean it. And I will talk to you guys later. Signing out. Bye, guys.